Well, hello everybody. I have finally decided to use the tire table for the HCalory diesel heater. I was trying to use the front runner table that I already had, but I was a little uncertain about the stability of the table, plus if it was off kilter or whatever, there was no real good way to level it out in the field. So I bought this online. It's a knockoff. There's a manufacturer out there called Tailgater, I believe, and their tables run about $200 plus another $40 or $50 for the bag. And this one, I'm pretty sure is a knockoff. Could be the same one. Doesn't have their name on it. Doesn't have any name on it. And it came with a pretty, I don't know, camouflage, not real expensive bag, but it works. I believe it assembles just like the Tailgater. Basically, you just have these little legs that will sit up against the tire. And I think from what I could see online about the Tailgater does the same thing. You just kind of let those out. You just kind of flip it over and that bottom leg falls out and you just kind of, so that'll just lay over top the tire, and you just tighten these little thumb screws up, and then the tire itself just has a leg on it. Kind of get it where you think you want it, and it's pretty stable. It'll definitely hold that diesel heater. It's about the only thing I'm planning on using it for. And there's the HCalory Toolbox Max, and might be just a tad bit high. And I have two other previous videos on how I mount everything up, if you want to go back and check. But basically, just have this insulated, I guess it's a dryer hose that fits on this insert that I have that we put in the window with a 110 outlet that's plugged into a Blue Eddy on the other side. And that's pretty secure. And on this side, we just pretty much, I have that high temperature gasket here, and didn't come with it, but it's just easier to put on the flange of this diesel heater. So of course nothing wants to put that on, and just move the clamp up and we're secure. And then of course just your standard diesel heater exhaust. I kind of bend it to put it in the box I stored in, and it just slips over the exhaust port. And I would tighten this up if I was out camping, but it'll stay on there for now, and just let it exhaust out. The power brick, there's no way in the world that can be waterproof. I mean, I can see inside there, and there's all kinds of transistors or whatever they're called. So they say the diesel heater can get wet. I wouldn't want this to get wet. So that was another reason why I wanted the tire table, so I could sit this on the tire. And it's kind of hard to believe. It's a little chilly out here tonight, or today, but we're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches of snow tonight. It'll be our first snow for the year here where I live. And this thing, I've got the AC 180 already on. So all I have to do is hit the power, and there it is. It takes about, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes for it to get going, and the fuel pump will tick a little bit, but then it does go away. And this is the remote. It has like an off switch. It's USB-C charged, I think. And I have it set right now currently on H6. And this also has a thermostat, a built-in thermostat, where like in the Project M, I can leave it in there and it reaches temperature, it'll cut off. When it gets certain few degrees lower, it'll cut back on. It does use a little bit of power when you initiate the startup, about 200 watts of power. And that's probably for about maybe 5 minutes. And then it'll drop down to approximately 20 watts of power with the fan. If you put it on the number 10 setting, it'll do about 50 watts of power because I guess the fan's using more power. But then I have found that if I keep it on 1 or 2 on the fan speed, that it'll burn or use about 18 to 20 watts of power. And it doesn't, that's just where it stays. And if it gets too hot, you can cut it off, because you can put this in your sleeping quarters, power it on, power it off, cut it down, cut it up. I would probably open one of the vents on the roof and let a little heat out, keep some fresh air in there. It's currently fired up now. It's not too warm right yet. I can hear the pump, but there's no sense in me bringing the camera over there to that, because it won't pick it up, I don't think. And it's a decent setup, I think. I think the hose does get warm, but it doesn't get hot. It doesn't melt, because it's. But it's starting to fire up. It's getting some heat on the exhaust now, and that's kind of the setup. I'll take you inside here for a second, and of course you can hear that. I don't think you'll be able to hear the pump. I don't hear it. And this is pretty much the Blue 80 AC70, and it's running about 72 to, well, that's 85 watts. It's already, the glow plug is already fired up, the diesel, so that's gone off. We're on setting 6. There's a lot of air movement coming through the vent there. It's starting to warm up, and that is at level 6. I'm going to decrease that down to 2. I don't think this camper will ever need more than a speed of 2, and it will eventually go down once it gets up to the heat. And yes, we do. We have warm air coming out of the vent now, and I believe the HCalory will drop here in a minute or two once it figures out that it's doing its job. There we go. All right, so starting to slow down. The exhaust is nowhere near as loud as it was. I don't know if you can hear it in here or not. I have the back door and tailgate open, so you can hear birds and everything else. We're at 28, 27. And you can adjust that screen to make it last longer, but I think the more the screen shows, the more power it uses, so we're trying to utilize our power. So we're down to 25 watts. It's jumping around. It'll find its happy medium somewhere around 20 to 18 here in a minute or two. But there, it's 19, 20, 21. And I can turn the, have it down to heat mode 1. Or let me see that. I'm gonna take you outside and let you hear it running at speed 10. So basically that noise at speed 10 is the exhaust. And there's a little bit of fan noise. And if I cut that back down to say 2, I hear the fan slowing down. And I'm standing right here at the exhaust, and I don't smell any fumes at all. I'm sure it's putting out carbon monoxide, but I really don't smell any diesel or anything. I do know when you turn it off, it runs for a few minutes. I think it burns all the soot and everything out of the system to help keep it clean. And then you may smell a little bit of exhaust. But it has gotten quieter. And of course, the fan has gotten a lot quieter. And you really do not hear this inside. So anyway, that's the final decision on the HCalory, how I'm going to use it and how I plan on using it. So please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.